speakers lined up. So let's just give a round of applause for everyone who came out tonight. Give a round of applause for yourselves. Alright, so this is the Living Wage Community Forum. And the Living Wage Coalition, as a lot of you might know, is a group of students, workers, faculty members, and greater community members who have come together on the issue of our workers receiving fair treatment in the workplace and fair wages. So the idea of a living wage can sometimes be a little confusing, so I thought I'd give a brief background on that before we got started. So what a living wage is it's the idea that the poverty line is not adequate enough to support one's family. So it doesn't acknowledge all the costs that come with children and childcare and house payments, etc. The living wage will better address basic needs such as these, and awesome. As you can see, living wage is housing, food, childcare, transportation, healthcare, other necessities, and this doesn't account for unforeseen circumstances. So the EPI has calculated that a living wage for the Hampton Roads area comes to about $17.62 an hour. That's annual pay of $36,500. And when you compare this with the workers here at William & Mary, you'll see very large discrepancies. Their wages are nowhere near that. Out of the 104 housekeepers here at William & Mary, 75% make $10.52 or below. So as you can see, that's a vast difference, 17, 10. And right here you see, this is their annual wage, about $22,000 per year. And this is the discrepancy that they're missing to be able to make a living wage to support their family. And this discrepancy causes a lot of problems. It causes workers to have to work 2 or 3 jobs just to support their family. And the same family that they're taking the jobs for, to support, they can't see because they have no time, you know. So this is just kind of a trickle-down effect that happens. You know, I'm here tonight because I could never imagine having to make a choice between paying my bills and going to a doctor's appointment. I don't think that should be a choice that anyone really has to make. So with that, brief background, I want to now introduce Maggie Rissolello to give an introduction and a history of the campaign.
Hey, how you doing? So my name is Maggie Rissolello. I've been involved in the campaign for about a year or 2. And I'm going to give you a really brief and exciting history about what we've done because this campaign is really, really cool and I want everyone to know about it. So many people think that poverty on campus is a new issue. However, workers and students have been organizing for fair wages for over 10 years now. In 2001, workers at William & Mary had their first living wage campaign. Some people saw this as successful because President Sullivan instituted a pay raise which brought everyone up to $8.50 an hour. However, that is still not a living wage. You cannot afford to feed, clothe, house, and support a family off of $8.50 an hour. So workers were really disappointed with that and they wanted to keep on going with the struggle. At this event, also, President Sullivan instituted a committee on employment opportunity. However, that did not include any workers. It was mainly professors of business, economics, and law. And the recommendations made by this committee were not even carried out. It was disbanded in over 3 years. Then during the 09-010 school year, this is when things started to pick up again, the committee didn't work, so things kind of died down. And then last year they picked back up. And workers got 65 petitions signed from all over campus and brought them to the administration saying, we need better pay and it's time to step up for this issue. And that's where we are now. Last semester, the living wage campaign really picked up again. One of the first demands was that there were 7 vacant housekeeping positions, which meant that workers who were usually assigned to one building, which takes 8 hours to clean and sanitize effectively, now had to clean 2 to 3 extra buildings in the same amount of time, and they were not being compensated for that extra work. So there were 7 vacancies, 25 workers and students got together and marched to Allison Wildridge, gave her a letter saying, we need to fill these vacancies. And she said, I can't do anything to help you, please go to Anna Martin. We then went to Anna Martin, who is the, what's her official title? Vice President of Facilities. Cool. We went to her to, address the issue again. Yet again, she would not address the issue. However, she agreed to meet with 3 workers and 3 students. She talked about, communication, education, other issues, but she would not address wages at this time. As a result of that, we decided, we need to talk to the president about this. All these other high-up people aren't listening to us. It's time to talk to President Wrigley about this. We had 100 workers and students gather on the Primdale. And at this time, we had a worker meet and greet so that, you can really put a face to these issues. Workers got to meet students, they got together, and over 100 people actually marched to President Wrigley to ask for a living wage. At this time, because of all this, momentum building all around campus, they decided to actually hire temporary workers and begin the process for filling these positions permanently. That was one of our very big victories. The vacancies were filled, and now it was time to concentrate on wages. So, at that time, we decided to form the Living Wage Coalition, which now represents professors, students, faculty, staff, people from all over the community who have decided that we're going to come together for this issue. At this time, the Living Wage Coalition's first event was the Worker Speak Out panel, where workers were, given a space to really speak out about the conditions that they face every day on the job. And I think this is a time where we really just got the most people involved in this, because people being able to hear workers' experiences, those things are usually kept invisible, and now there was a space to make those issues visible on campus. After the Worker Speak Out panel, we also had petitions to the press. That was another event where people from all over campus actually wrote personal petitions. Instead of just, signing your name on something, people said, this is how this affects me. Like, all these different students, all these different people wrote personal letters to Wrigley and read them out loud to him. Okay, cool. So then, student organizations. What?
Homecoming float.
Okay, so to make this issue more visible to the entire Williamsburg community, we decided to have a homecoming float, and we actually made a representation of the Wren building and all different wore shirts saying, worker, administration, faculty, staff, and we all carried the float together to show that, if we all work together, that's how we can carry the weight of this school. Then after that, we had a worker story day. More and more people from Williamsburg were getting involved. So people from all over the community went to workers and scribed their personal stories. And then we had a day where we were reading those stories out loud all day long for people to hear them. After that, we also made a Tribe Family storybook in which we marched this book to the president, and we read him a giant storybook called Tribe Family Stories to our president, and we spoke to him doing this for about an hour. After all of this, the president was still like, you want to know what? I don't think that this is something that's important to the entire community, so how are we going to show him that? So we got creative. We had an entire week of action from November 15th to 19th, where all day, every day, you could see living wages all over campus. We had t-shirts, we had student worker dance parties, we had worker appreciation brunches to show them how much we care about them, and then on Thursday, it culminated in a rally to restore sanity on campus. And this was really cool because it was a national event that was also being co-sponsored by United Students Against Sweatshops. So all over the country, people were having actions on the same day to say that students and workers are standing together on these issues. At that rally, we asked Wrigley to sign this simple support card, which is actually right down here. I'll read it. I support living wages for all William and Mary workers and commit to finding the necessary solutions so that all campus workers can meet their basic needs. That's a pretty basic statement, We're not asking for extravagant things. We're asking for just a commitment to help us meet our basic needs. Can anyone guess if he signed it? Do we see his name on there?
No.
No, he didn't sign it.
Yeah, we came to him with this board specifically and a marker, and he just said, oh, I don't sign things.
I don't sign things. That was his, not a direct quote. So after that, we were a little bit upset. So we had a nice candlelight vigil at night, lit some candles, the shindig. And then we decided to actually camp out in the president's yard. We had a tent city, and we wanted to show him we are not giving up on this issue. We are willing to camp in your yard with, banners all over the place, showing you that, our workers are going to be paid a living wage. Like that's just what's going to happen. Here we are today. In January, we wanted to just get everyone really educated about this because a lot of people see us doing all these actions that I just named and are like, well, you know, what is a living wage? How is this impacting people? I don't really understand what your main argument is. So we published a living wage press, which has, you know, all of the impacts of a living wage, the economic arguments, the business arguments, pretty much everything from left and right that you need to know. Then we also delivered another letter to Reeve Lee just to demonstrate to him, you know, we're still willing to work with you, not against you. However, he has not answered that letter. Then we showed a Harvard documentary to show that these campaigns really can work. There was a successful Harvard living wage campaign, and we wanted to show everyone how that worked and that these, you know, campaigns can really work when students and workers come together. And here we are today. I know that was much longer than I expected. I apologize for that. But now we're at the community.
Done so much.
Yeah, we just, you know, I can't even tell you how much we've done. I probably didn't even explain everything. We want living wages, and we're not going to stop until we get living wages. So we're going to keep doing more action. But here we are at the community forum. We now have support from, you know, all over campus, all over Virginia, and all over the nation. You know, President Reeve Lee has said this is the most visible issue on campus right now. Everyone on campus knows about it. USAS, a national organization, all of those people know about it as well. So congratulations to everyone who's made this happen. It's really, really cool, and we're going to keep on fighting. Okay, so I'm going to announce 2 people right now so that I don't have to get up twice. I'll just announce you both at once. But, so there's one person that's about to speak to you. His name is Mike Brooks. All these people I'm about to announce are really cool. I met them at a rally that's standing in solidarity with workers all over the country. So we're all fighting for a common cause. This is Mike Brooks, and he's from Teamsters Local 95. He's the principal officer. It's very official. And it's a title. And sorry, it's not official at all. And then following him is going to be Donald Dinsey, who has asked me to say it like this, Donald Dinsey. So that's who's next, and he's the president of the Professional Firefighters Union.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to speak. I won't hold you long because you guys are too young. You can last a lot longer than me. The voice, everybody deserves a voice in the workplace. You know, I come from a coal mining background. My grandfather was, he worked at an Island Creek Coal Company. They paid him in scrip. He went to a company store. He gave their money right back to him, and he lived in a home that was owned by the company. And United Mine Workers, they were instrumental in the establishment of workers' rights in this country, and we can't let over 100 years of efforts go down the drain because a few people just don't want the middle-class Americans to have an opportunity to have a voice. It's great to see the young people. Great to see the young people come to the rally that we had at the union office a few weeks ago. Young and old, even though I'm old enough to be most of your grandfather, but we all got that. We have the right thing in mind, and that's that everybody deserves a voice, and we can't let anybody say we don't have that opportunity. And I'll give it